Welcome to this week's theme, which is word or words. This is part of the creative year that we're putting all sorts of different ideas together. So, what I want to do today is briefly look at how we can use words and a demonstration. And one or two of my pieces of artwork that has done with words or as a feature. So when we think about words, there can be individual words, there can be words as part of sentences or paragraphs of words, there can even be entire books that we might read and find interesting. So words do have a really critically important place in our creative art. And many journalers do put very deliberate words in their artwork, and you'll find that in the group when we look at various different images that the group's artists have been producing. Doing words as an actual piece of art has been around a long, long time. If you think about the industries such as printmaking, that uses words, graphic design in the modern art world, and the art that I'm trained to do, sign writing, that has been around an awful long time. And they are very specifically focused on doing words and things like that. One of the things that I found really interesting is from the 8th and 9th century AD, the illuminated lettering, where we get very decorative letters, might be parts of old manuscripts and things like that. And I've got to say, I really do like that kind of art. But what I'm going to do today is show you one or two of the tools that I use to produce letter signs and maybe do a little bit of doodling to show you what I'm going to do. So let's get on with that. We'll look at the artwork first that I've done in the past that feature words, and then move on to the demonstration. So we'll see you at the end of the tutorial. Looking at this first image, we'll find that the face is made up of lots of words, the word love, and I really enjoyed doing this one. I Love Graphic Art is a digital image that I produced using shapes and words. This is an old college piece that I did using foam foam, either cut out or used to do a print. A mock-up for a business design. This one's a screen printing project. It's a face of a man that has the word, "I've got the blues." Can you see it? Here's an invite to a fancy event that I went to and designed the invites for. My company logo, Rainbow Colour Graphics. Words can look great when we add effects to them, like the neon on this particular piece of artwork. And also, you can add texture to the lettering and three-dimensional space. So that's just one or two of my images that I've done. Let's look at an example of a demo now and see what we can do with that. Right, this is the image that I'm wanting to have a go at. It's something that I've been designing and took several hours of refining and what have you, so we're not going to be looking at the drawing itself, but it's based around 8th and 9th century lettering, and it's my name, Ian Allen Jackson. Some of the things I'll be using probably this masking fluid, because I'm going to do an underpainting behind it to protect the lettering, and I'll try having a go with this brush. It might not work, but this is a lining brush, pretty much similar to this one, which is a rigger. I've just put the rigger there just to show you the difference. A lot bigger. This lining brush. It's a brush that signwriters use. So you've got your liner there and your rigger brush that artists would normally use. So, and just to show you that, I mean, that's a small liner. Just to show it up against that, that's a large liner. Can we? A lot larger. So that's the brush I'll be using, and then obviously I'll be using watercolour, and I might bleed different colours into it. I don't know, we'll see how that goes. So that's the setup. I'll transfer this image onto the paper that I'm going to use, and that's this paper, Heine Muller anniversary paper. It's 425 grams or £200, and I assume that this is cold press, but it doesn't say on the thing. So let's get on with it. I'll transfer that and I'll see you at the other side where we start painting. So now we're going to be adding a lot of watery paint, as wet as I can get it without it not showing through. I'm not going to use the masking fluid because obviously I can see through the to the image. So I've dropped the masking fluid from the equipment. Saves having to do a lot of very tedious masking out. So we're getting to the point now where it's nearly all covered in it. It's a very wet paint. And that's that done. I've got to leave that now to dry. I was going to do all this in black, but I reminded myself that I've got some of this, which is Schmincke gold powder. So I'm going to do the internal part of the lettering in gold, but the outer stroke line I'll do with a pen like this or something, which is a Kuretake. This one's a Kuretake. I might not use that Kuretake. I might use one of my fiber castels, but it's looking like the Kuretake is going to get used. Right. See if we can get the brush to activate a bit. They are a bit stiff, these brushes, for a reason. So they are for doing straight lines, so it's better if they are fairly stiff. This Schmincke powder is really nice. You flood it in after you've made it into a liquid with water. You flood it into the area by going around the edges and then flooding the rest of the inner part, and it works really nice. And unlike a lot of paints, you don't have to keep giving it coat after coat for it to actually look solid. This went on in one coat, which obviously if you were going to do a more robust image, you might want to do another coat over it, but it didn't really need it. We just have the edge stroking to do now, and what I've decided to do is use 3 different colours, one for each letter. So we've got red, then purple, then a blue. And that's what we're going to do. So again, I'll put this into a fast mode because I'm sure you know how to use a pen to draw lines. So that is my word, or my initials in this case. I put some watercolour in a very washy kind of way on the background, and then filled in the gold section, and then did the line work, and that's my finished piece. I may make that a little bit more bold, the line work, but apart from that, I'm happy with that. So thank you for looking in, and thank you for contributing to the My Creative Year group. And if you aren't part of that at the moment, coming in, I've got some details at the bottom of the page. And thank you for watching again. Bye.